Happy New Year. Welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we just got done watching the Doctor Who, well, I would say Christmas specials, the Doctor Who New Year's special.
We don't want to offend people with Christmas, but go ahead.
You don't want to offend people with Christmas. The Doctor Who New Year's special resolution. And all I can say is...
Wow, what a creative title. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh my God. They can't even get the Daleks right. They can't even get the Daleks right on this season of Doctor Who. Holy crap.
I just can't decide what it's trying to be. Like, yeah. I'm watching it now. Keep in mind, I've only watched a couple episodes because I think it's boring and I hate it. I used to like Doctor Who. I don't now. But it's like, I'm like, is this a Doctor Who episode or is it a TV drama sitcom? Yeah, I couldn't decide. I'm like, is this a sitcom or is this Doctor Who?
Well, that's okay. So there are going to be spoilers aplenty. We already spoiled the Daleks Dalek.
Well, it's already been spoiled before this.
Dalek, singular is
because
in
it's
this
cheaper.
Episode. Yeah, we're going to talk about.
This episode was nothing but about how to save money on Dalek animation. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So yeah, I agree with Geeky on this. Doctor Who this whole season is just like it can't decide what it wants to be, which is one of the fundamental problems with the series and why it is so boring, because we go from a sci-fi show to like a ridiculous amount of people sitting around talking over coffee, just like Marvel Comics.
It is.
Everybody jokes about the Marvel Comics, everybody just sitting around drinking coffee. They did it on this episode. Ryan's talking to his dad, and it's like a totally different show.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? And then I don't know. I just don't get it. I mean, it's like, even when she's supposed to be the action doctor, it just felt more like, somewhat action. Look, I have quirky humor, and you know what I mean? It just...
Yeah, it was really kind of misplaced, like with David Tennant and Matt Smith especially. Now, Peter Capaldi was all business, but with David Tennant and Matt Smith, it was like kind of organic humor, organic quirkiness. It does feel kind of forced. I think the biggest issue, now I actually haven't watched the show since like episode 6 or 7. I dropped it because I got bored. But the biggest thing that stuck out to me in this episode is how utterly incompetent this doctor is. She literally has one Dalek to deal with, whereas her predecessors dealt with armies of Daleks, and they didn't screw it up as badly as she did, kind of again and again. And it was just very odd that they would let the first female doctor be this incompetent with such a classic villain. Well,
not only that, but again, it's that whole thing you'd expect. Me and my friends, as long as my friends are here to support me with the power of friendship, I will kick your ass. And you got that again at the end of this. Me and my mates are going to kick your ass.
I'm waiting for her rainbow on her shirt to like blast a rainbow into the Daleks like the Care Bear stare or something.
Yeah.
It was just like... I
just keep thinking she looks like Mork. I don't know.
She does look like... That was just a poor... I mean, again, with Jodie Whittaker, like, I think there's potential to be a great doctor there, but yeah, the costume sucks. I think she was actually better in Capaldi's suit than...
Yeah, I think she's good in the suit.
And she doesn't have a lot to work with. I mean,
to be fair, I only saw a couple episodes, because I saw a couple and that was enough for me. And I just didn't want to watch it anymore.
It's just boring. The kids who used to love Doctor Who don't even watch it now.
No, they started getting bored with Capaldi, and then they have no desire to see it now at all.
And I think a lot of people did a lot. I mean, even, I said before that, I kind of, with Capaldi, the last 2 seasons, it sort of went from being must-see TV to, I'll get around to it when I get around to it. And I would usually, binge watch a couple episodes. But I still managed to sit through every episode of every season. This season, I can't do it.
For me, like,
I can't do it.
It just felt more and more like an OC type thing. It was more like a fanfic most of the time towards the end, and now it just seems even more so. And I love how they had to get across there. I have humanity's best with me. Humanity fights its own worst enemies with it by itself. Then why the hell are you there? What's the point?
I mean, it used to be the Doctor was the guardian of Earth, kind of. I mean, the best. My favorite intro from I think all Doctor Who was Matt Smith's. I loved it, where the alien was scanned Matt Smith, and he's like, basically Google me, Google me, bitch.
Yeah.
Google me, bitch. And it Googles, the Doctor and shows all the faces of the Doctor.
I thought that was really cool.
And then he walks through at the very end, through David Tennant's and adjusts his bow tie, and he's like, "Hello, I'm the Doctor." And in a word, you'd better run.
Yeah.
Everything you need to know about the character, and even with him being kind of that doofy, younger character, he still had a very commanding presence. All of the Doctors so far have had a very commanding presence. Like, they were goofy, but damn well you didn't you didn't fuck with the Doctor. You just didn't. And Whittaker's, I'm just like, I don't get the feeling that she could take on Davros.
Well, she took on one and it was bad.
It was bad.
Why was it up there? Why was it taking on one? Because it's a hell of a lot cheaper to take on one Dalek who's under a robe and hidden on people's backs from most episodes. It was like the episode with Donna Noble. You got something on your back. Remember?
Oh,
the bug thing on her back.
Yeah.
Remember? That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it was a weird. I mean, and canonically, like, I don't think the Daleks have ever done. Now, they did do some weird stuff in earlier episodes where they had like the Dalek disguised as a human, and then they had the stalk come out of her forehead. I mean, that was kind of a weird thing. But the Daleks like taking over human hosts like a parasite was kind of a weird.
Hey, the parasite thing is a good analogy for a lot of stuff that's going on in pop culture now. But go ahead.
Well, okay, so we'll talk about that. Yeah, I think they actually kept the Doctor under I can't remember her name, whatever her face is.
I don't even know.
Sewer Girl under her coat because it was cheaper than showing the Dalek and all that. But I was really shocked that they kind of went there. They kind of made the analogy between the tentacle. Twirling
you called it tentacle porn.
I did. I was like, oh my god, this is like tentacle porn because the tentacles are all going up, and then after they get the Dalek off of her, it almost was like consulting a victim of assault. I was like, did you just go there?
Well, I mean, technically it kind of would be assault.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like,
it's like a mind control thing, but
I'm like, it was really uncomfortable and creepy, and I was like, why did you have to go there?
Because have you seen this season? You've seen more than
part of it. I've seen part of it. I haven't watched all of it.
I mean, honestly, for what had happened, it would be a little bit. I can understand why they were trying too hard to make an analogy, clearly. But I mean, if it was like they weren't take all the agenda crap away, if they did an episode with the Dalek doing that, I can see them being like, you fought back, go you, and stuff like that. So I think it made sense, but I know why they put it in there.
Yeah, it was just very. I mean,
it's clearly a hashtag Me Too moment. This is from a woman, so take it as
you can
will.
say whatever you want. I'm not allowed to say.
It was clearly that. I mean,
I just found it very.
Think it was. I can understand why they said what they said about it, though.
I was just like, God, why are they going there? Just in
general. I don't know why
like,
they went there, but because they didn't do like poor Donna. You've been controlled by the bug on your back. You're how brave of you to beat it. If you need somebody, we're here. Go you, don't feel bad, it wasn't your fault. They didn't do that with Donna.
What about body shaming all the women that just would explode into little fat babies when they took pills, trying to get thinner?
Well, the one person that exploded into fat babies.
Well, usually just their fat sort of, got up and walked away. But I'm like, I don't know. It was a very uneven, again, this is the first episode I've watched since like 6 or 7. I forget whenever I dropped it, I dropped it because I got bored. And I was bored.
Plus you get tired of every episode being told about how bad you are because you're a guy.
Well, this is Squid guys are bad too. Squid guys are bad.
But not Squid King.
No, Squid King is good. Squid King is good.
He controls his tentacles.
He better. He had better. We're gonna have a conversation.
But they just went down to one Dalek that you saw partially in the episode.
It was.
I'm just like shrugging my
shoulders.
It just
felt very anticlimactic because even Matt Smith's first encounter with a Dalek, there was a lot more emotion there. This was like. Jodie Whittaker's Doctor was. I just couldn't believe how incompetent she was. Like, she let the Dalek get away. It took her forever to figure out where the Dalek was. She almost let Ryan's dad get sucked out the airlock. I'm just like.
But miscalculations. It wasn't like, it was all part of my plan. It was like, part of it was part of my plan and part of it was because, oops, and it was.
Yeah, it was like, come on. There's just a lot of things. And so we're going out here to, Rotten Tomatoes. The
bastion of, truthfulness and...
Yeah. So, of course, the friendly media, all of the critics loved it. unconditionally because they have to.
Well, if you want to keep getting your free stuff, and
your
your
free
access
what?
you need.
Your free what?
Your free copies of DVDs, your early viewing, your whatever. You have to love it. Go ahead.
But I'm just saying, like, they loved it, and the audience score on this one is atrocious.
It's pretty bad.
18%. Let's look at some of these. You were reading them earlier.
They were pretty funny.
We actually did not go out to Rotten Tomatoes to see what the audience score was until after we had watched the episode. We didn't watch it right away because we actually don't get BBC America. So I actually paid money. I bought the episode on Amazon. That's a whole nother story.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
Yeah. So weak, stupid, worthless. Absolutely horrendous when you can follow a checklist of dribble and propaganda as if playing a game of tic-tac-toe. Then you have a predictable, boring, and lazy product. Some of these are simply terrible. No knowledge of Daleks continuity. I think that kind of got me too, because I'm like, I don't remember them ever attaching themselves to
continuous pointless babbling with Daddy for 10 minutes or more in the episode. That should be an action one.
Okay, I agree with that. That actually, okay, again, as I'm sitting through the 5 to 10 minutes of talking in the coffee shop, I would even turn to Geeky. I said, this is like Marvel Comics now. This is what they do. They spend like, these.
Why would people pick up the books then? This sounds really boring. I don't read them anyway, so.
Not very many people do, so you're not alone. But no, like, you can have those character building moments, and it's supposed to be Doctor Who, not Ryan's daddy issues, and it just completely seemed very pointless in this episode.
No real danger from a junk armored Dalek is easily predicted. Bored the whole time. Problem is Chibnall. He's not. I think Chibnall sounds like he is a dramatic, sitcom type writer, not a Doctor Who sci-fi type writer.
Yeah, I think he would be more comfortable doing like a hospital show or a
I can see him doing a hospital show or a lawyer show,
something like that. Now he did. I think it was Broadchurch, which I've never seen, but. It just seems.
People didn't like Broadchurch though, but because he wrote. It's
a dramatic. Yeah.
He can write. It's like I think he's better to write what he knows, and that seems to be what he knows. They always say write what but
Yeah, and he's not a good. At least Moffat, I will give Moffat. Moffat sometimes can be preposterous.
Oh, God, Moffat.
But
I'm not a fan of Moffat.
And he was a bit up his own ass sometimes, but
it wasn't a bit. He was fully up there. I don't know how he was functioning. But,
he did have an imagination, though.
But that still was better than these.
There were some pretty. Sometimes he got a little carried away with the twist, kind of like.
He was always like, "Look how clever I am! Look how clever I am!"
He was Mr. Clever.
When he started out doing a couple episodes here and there, they were actually really good episodes.
His episodes
they were like the best ones, and I was like, "Oh, I love this guy!"
Yeah.
Until he got control, and then it became more and more. He went too far. The other, like the one person in the reviewer actually on the Doctor Who series, we'll talk about in a minute. They actually did not give it 100%, and it dropped.
Yeah, somebody ruined.
We'll go there in a little bit. But one of the things in the review, if you read it, said that you can go you can go too far, the whole overarching story way, and that's what Moffat did. He went too far that way, and I agree with that. But go ahead, back to the.
Yeah, some of these, I don't know. It's hard to judge the half stars, and they don't even count toward the ratings.
And I'll tell you what, to be fair, I went and checked into the Doctor Who Rotten Tomatoes a couple of days ago, and as much as they are trying to cheat the She-Ra ratings, where there's always 5 stars for no reason, there are an awful lot of people, I think, trying to drag down the Doctor Who to the bad. Not that I disagree with them. I don't disagree with them. But I think it's pretty obvious that they're out there trying to do it. So take that for what you will. I don't disagree with you, but I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, I agree with this assessment here, though. A bunch of primitive humans band together and are able to defeat one of the deadliest creatures in the universe. They break open the highly advanced casing with a sword.
I know, right?
And cut the alien mutant into 3 parts and place them all over the world. Honestly, this is the first minute and nothing makes sense. Yeah, how come?
I agree with that.
They did a better job defeating the Dalek than the Doctor did. The Doctor was just completely incompetent, and the Doctor has spent practically an eternity fighting fucking Daleks. You think that one Dalek is not a big deal?
Well, then they said because the Dalek is revived by UV lights. Not explained. Right. So if it was revived by UV lights, and all this time when people, they had it in medieval crude sacks, light was going to get in. How come it didn't revive it before?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Especially they had the Daleks took over Earth during Tenets.
Right.
Yeah, they think they'd be like, oh, let's go get this guy that we left.
And how come when you kill Daleks in the other episode and they're in the light, UV light from the sun, they don't regenerate or come back to life?
It's not explained. I was actually thinking Venom too. The Dalek proceeds to do some Venom role playing. Ryan's dad makes an appearance, and we get scenes that belong in EastEnders, and boy, do they go on for a while.
They
Yes,
do.
it was. Somebody said 10 minutes. I think literally it's about 10 minutes.
This next one, yes, this is what I said.
Oh my God, there's a giant weird squid on the wall. I think I'll touch it. If you're going to be inspired by sci-fi movies, please don't make it Prometheus. Dalek does some Grand Theft Auto for a while.
True.
Jodie Whittaker continues to have no real understanding of the Doctor, and I've seen better rage anger from, oh my God.
I see better rage and anger from me. But
yeah, a random dude is introduced, says something dumb about how well he can, oh wait. Random dude is introduced, says something dumb about how well he can figure his boyfriend, and then dies.
Well, speaking of, not about that, but the guy in the beginning, the guy with the girl that sewer guy and sewer girl, I'll call him that because I don't really care to know their names. I don't remember.
Oh, Mitch.
Is that what his name was?
Because I was thinking Mitch the bitch is why I was Mitch the bitch.
Like this Mitch dude.
Mitch the bitch.
I was like, Mitch, my God, man up, man. I said to you, it's like I wouldn't date him. Is that what I said? I wouldn't date him.
Yeah, you're like, what a puss. I wouldn't date this guy.
I was like, he just like, we talk about the kids.
Oh my God.
Did you maybe possibly like it? Or were you thinking it was like, ew, or whatever you said?
Oh my God, did you think I was like gross? You think, did you feel my braces?
I was just like, dude, I wouldn't date you. And, no
Can
offense.
I hold your hand?
No offense, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, but I wasn't a puss. Kind of.
No, you weren't. But, I'm just saying.
Wait, you said I was? No, I
was. You weren't a puss. I'm just saying, it's like, my comment to you was, wow, this guy's a puss. I would never date him. And not because I would be mean at people, but he was very, I can't even explain it. It was just like, dude, there's like nothing about you that's dude-like. It's just, you're just like, Go ahead.
Ryan's dad carrying around the microwave. Yeah, why is he carrying around a microwave? I never thought it says yeah, I was actually thinking about Daleks in Manhattan, where the Daleks fused with the gangsters. Daleks in Manhattan did the whole human-Dalek hybrid idea better. Yeah, and to me, that was like one of the worst freaking...
Oh, yes, this next one. Go ahead.
Unit has faced its greatest enemy, Brexit. Seriously? Despite being played semi-serious, it makes no logical sense at all. Aside from that, there's also Torchwood, but no, we hit our reference quote. Yeah, where is Torchwood in all this? Where is, like, the Dalek possessing a human woman manages to build a scrap metal Dalek tank in less than an hour in a farm with a box of scraps? No, seriously, we're just ramping up the logic. How did it make rockets?
I know, where did they get this stuff to make rockets?
I was sitting there, where...
And then that rocket sequence where it shoots a rocket to bump the other one so it goes back out of the way and blows up the tank.
It was fucking Sharknado.
It was
I expected to see the rocket hit the shark in slow motion and see the shark go tumbling through the air. What the hell?
The tank shoots a rocket at the Dalek, and the rocket fires a rocket. The Dalek fires a rocket back, which where it got rockets from, who the hell knows. It bumps the tank rocket out of the way so it doesn't hit it, but then it goes right into the middle of the tank and blows the whole damn thing up.
Oh my God, how to make rockets? Good question. A random military shows up to be fodder. The CGI is worse than before 2005. Yeah, actually, I was sitting there thinking, even with the tentacly doctor, even with the tentacly Dalek, that it looked worse than even the first season of Doctor Who. Like, they have more believable monsters. I mean, we had the face of Bo, which was an amazing puppet, and then this shit. Like, what? The Dalek is a special Dalek and can shut off the TARDIS or something. I don't know, it's not explained. Neither is communicating via hologram. Bradley Walsh, still the best thing about the show, although Charlotte Ritchie did excellent work with what she was given. The genius, 2,000-year-old Time Lord, can't figure out how to defeat the Dalek. But Ryan's dad, for 30 seconds on the TARDIS and having no idea what's going on, says you could probably use a microwave.
Yes!
Like I said, they made the Doctor completely fucking incompetent.
No, it's because the Doctor's competent with the help of all of her friends.
She needs her friends now.
That's the point. Am I wrong about this? Me and all my mates are here to kick your ass, basically. And it's like, yes, they all have to have a part to play to prove that mankind is up there with the Doctor. Yeah,
but that was never the Doctor. Even River Song realized the Doctor was basically a demigod. The Doctor chose to take companions with him. It was a him back then. With him because he didn't want to be alone. But he really didn't need... Well, he needed companions. The fact that he needed voice of reason sometimes.
Right.
Or he'd probably go...
The show would be really boring if it's just
it
one guy
would be
running
just
around.
Yeah,
I mean,
you need...
Let's be honest here.
They're there for exposition.
Yeah, they're the ensemble.
But it's funny because the one episode they I think the Master said the Doctor was keeping the companions like pets. That's kind of what he does.
Wait, keep going. The Dalek controls Ryan's dad, and suddenly Ryan loves him now.
Yeah, Dalek is thrown into a supernova. I don't even know what else happened because I literally turned into drinking wood varnish to try to erase this from memory. Oh my god. This is a whole season's been this special. My god, ruining Doctor and TARDIS was enough. Now the Daleks are getting dismantled. I mean, this could go on for hours.
There's 5-star with no comment.
Culmination for a horrible series 11.
Keep going. Just you don't have to read them all. All the 5 stars have no comments.
Yeah, a couple of them did. Just like, yes, I love it because Tumblr. So this is definitely it does. Now we're gonna go to the go-to.
Okay, it's 100% has been defeated.
It has been defeated. Rotten Tomatoes. The Doctor has fallen with the critics. So now there are previous seasons of Doctor Who that have had 100% critical score. Matt Smith's. Yeah, Matt Smith's. But never, the audience score has never been this low. I mean, we can.
Well, that's better than the specials review score is.
Oh, God, yeah. So we can pull like Matt Smith's first season, 100%.
It was good.
But only had 10 reviews. 91% of audiences liked it though.
But look, there's not that many reviews on those. There's a lot more reviews now. It's like,
because
we're
it got
trying
more
to prove
popular.
something. I don't know.
But even going to Capaldi's last season, which wasn't really that well loved by the fans, we still have a 91% critical score and a 71% audience score. And a lot of people didn't like season 10, but it was
that was only like the year before.
Yeah, it was freaking genius compared to season 11. But you can see, there's only a handful of scores. 11 scores for season 10, and then you get to season 11, 38. All the other Doctor Who seasons had like 10 or 11 reviews,
right.
But because and I think because it is the first season with a female Doctor, everybody's reviewing.
Look how many user ratings. Before it was like 500, 800, 5,000. Which is where I do think it's deliberately being dropped, but
Well, yeah, no. I mean, that's an awful lot of work to go to.
I was being fair because I'm seeing on She-Ra that it's being inflated. I think this one, and I don't like this season, but I do think there's a lot of people going to trouble to try to bring it down.
Yeah.
But I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I actually, I'm on your side. But,
well,
I do think if I was being fair.
Okay, so we have a dissenter. They did have 100% for this season of Doctor Who. Liz Shannon Miller of IndieWire.
But she doesn't get to review anymore.
I don't think she'll be allowed to the screening for Series 12. She said, Doctor Who Season 11 reviews, standalone episodes fail the 13th Doctor. I agree with this. Showrunner Chris Chibnall failed to give the Doctor a real story over the course of his first season on the show. Yeah, there was no big bad. There was no big bad in this season. All the previous seasons of Doctor Who, they were always building toward something, a big showdown of some kind.
Well, they mentioned that. They say on here, like later, they said that, in the past, they kind of did that where they had standalones, but they still had an overarching thing they were heading towards. Except for Moffat kind of went too far with the overarching. Here. This is because new showrunner Chris Chibnall chose a standalone route, which represents a striking deviation for the series. When original showrunner Russell T Davies revived it, 2005, one of the best decisions he made was finding a balance between the standalone stories, which lent themselves to exotic adventures across space and time, and a serialized mystery narrative that would result in an epic finale. And then they said, they said about Moffat. It said subsequent showrunner Stephen Moffat took over the show in 2010. He he did, leaning too heavily into the increasing convoluted puzzle box narratives that became almost impossible to track, especially toward the end of Capaldi's run as a Doctor. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with it. I think the thing about having that overarching storyline is that this worked with X-Files too, not the reboot or not new X-Files, but the original. Is that you had those questions, you would sort of unravel this mystery slowly, so it gives people a reason to come back. Now they wouldn't always come back, and get answers, but you could kind of tease that there was something bigger going on, and that worked really well for Doctor Who. Every season had like a big bad or a big showdown or something, even if they only spent 2 or 3 episodes before the finale to build up to it. This one just felt like it didn't have any direction at all.
Well, it might have. I didn't watch after the first couple episodes because I didn't care.
Like I said, I dropped it after it was 6 or 7. I don't remember. I don't care. But I was just like, there's no reason for me to come back. It's like I don't care. We did check out the New Year's episode just because Daleks, and it was.
We're like, oh, maybe they're gonna fix it.
No, it actually, I think it got worse. I think it's worse.
So that was at the center that took away the 100% score on the score for the critics.
How dare she? But this is bad. I mean, 18%. 18% is bad for audience score. Again, the critics love it. They all love it. They'll love it. They have to love it. The Mary Sue, the AV Club, we got this covered. Entertainment Weekly, place I've never heard of, TV Fanatic.
Oh, who knows? It could be big. Who knows?
Den of Geek, again, the pop culture sites all out there. Alcohol Hollywood. What?
Alcohol.
They're really reaching. IO9. It's all the same. Slash Film. It's all the same. Nerdist, of course. You've got the same 5 or 6 pop culture blogs that are sort of dictating things now. So we're seeing it in comics. We're seeing it with movies. We're seeing it with TV shows. And they're sort of
genre, science fiction and fantasy. I thought it was a kids show, but genre, science fiction and fantasy. Well, it was science fiction and fantasy, except for these episodes where they're all focused on let's have a long heart-to-heart talk about everything that's wrong with humanity and all the crap we've done in the past, or let's have a heart-to-heart talk with your dad who disappeared from your life, and we have to have 10 minutes with the son, then 10 minutes with the stepdad.
It was boring. It's boring. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I thought maybe it would get better. It dip a toe back in, and I'm like, well, they can't possibly screw up the Daleks. Well, they screwed up the Daleks. So, I don't know. Do you got any final thoughts on this one? I mean, it's going to be a whole nother year until we get any more.
Oh, thank God.
Whole nother year.
I hope they learn a lesson, but I don't think they're going to.
I don't think they're going to. I think it's just going to run its course, and I don't know what will happen.
I mean, I was going to give them credit. I mean, at least they tried to bring a monster in, because they're kind of like, wow, our show's tanking. Maybe, just maybe, people actually want to see real Doctor Who monsters and villains, and not just every episode being we're the villain.
Yeah.
Men are the villain. White men especially are the villain. We don't want to see that. So maybe, just maybe, if we brought some of the actual Doctor Who villains into it, people would be interested. And I was like, okay, maybe they're learning something. And then no.
As soon as we had that awkward exchange with Mitch the Bitch for 10 minutes before we actually saw some tentacly action, it's like, yeah, this show's
and even
screwed.
when it was action, it wasn't like you said, it wasn't like commanding action. It was just I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just
dumb. It's just a dumb show. It's just a dumb show. It's not that good. It's not my thing.
And people are going to say, well, if it's a dumb show, why do you care so much?
I care because it used to be great.
But again, you're allowed to like it.
Yeah.
You're allowed to not like it. And that's up to you. And if you like it, that's great. We do not. And we're allowed to not like it. So.
Yep. And yeah. So.
There you go. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay. Well, subscribe to Clownfish TV for more pop culture news, views, rants, art videos, gaming videos, and more.
Yep.
This has been Neon and Geeky.
Bye.
Goodbye.